Hey guys, welcome to Cameras and Cats, the show where you get to know creatives and their cats. Today we are here with Emily PF, also known as DJ Big Booty Judy. She's a local DJ and podcast host, and this is her cat Fran, full name Francis Dale Dart McLean Harris. Your head's a little wet.
I noticed that. I was like, I don't know where that's from, but I'm just gonna roll with it.
Could be anything. I'm obsessed with this cat. So where did you come up with his name, Fran?
Well, when we adopted him, he was Romeo. That was his original name, and we just thought, you know, he doesn't quite look like a Romeo. We had recently bought this house, and so we looked up names that were popular in the era of this house, which was 1909, and Francis, which happens to be the name of our street. Was like
I noticed that when you gave me your address, and I was like, that's so weird that the name is the same name as the cat.
Dale is his mother's maiden name, and then I like a long name, so we gave him my maiden name, Dart McLean, and then Harris, because he is now a Harris.
Yeah, Lula's full name is Zoe Lula Montez Coleman Baker. Yeah, she's
you need to know like who can pick the cat up at school and
exactly. Yeah. So do you know what kind of cat Fran is?
Well, I don't know that much about cats. He's definitely a unique and special cat.
Yes, he's so awesome. I mean, look at this.
Sorry, it's shedding all over.
Monster. Oh, that's okay. I already had to like, what's the roll? Lint roll. Before I came here.
Tabby is my guess, but someone once said, "Oh, he definitely has Scottish short hair."
You know, I was thinking that
because he has a kind of a compressed face.
Yeah,
which
like, almost like a Scottish fold, but without the folded ears. Yes. Yeah, because that's like the cat that I really want. I want a Scottish fold so bad. But yeah, I noticed that they have these, and their eyes kind of go up more on the sides, almost in their faces are a little more squished. Because when I first looked at a picture of him, I thought his ears were folded too, because he just, I guess, just emanates Scottish fold. Yeah, the squished face where the eyes and the nose are really close together. Look at that face.
It's like looking in a mirror.
It really is. So what are your nicknames? I'm sure you have a bunch.
We call him Francis, Francis Dale. I know that's not a nickname, but
Francis Dale.
Franny Bear, Boo Boo, Baby Boo. I mean, lots of pet names, literally. True-Hearted Softy is a little nickname I started for a friend who I think you interviewed, Shola. She has a cat.
Telling us about that.
Yeah, so her cat's kind of not a lovely cat, and also has a ruffled edge of a queen who might not have a lot of interaction with the people. But Fran, I'm like, is truly a true-hearted softie.
I
kind of call all cats true-hearted
I'm like
softies.
obsessed with this cat already. If you could think of any celebrity that Fran would be, like, who does he remind you of?
Well, I was saying, actually, when you guys came in, it's funny this question came up. He's kind of like, is it Jason Alexander? And not that Jason Alexander is cuddly and warm. And sorry, Jason Alexander, if you happen to be watching this. But like his build is kind of that of like a compressed person, you know? And then, I mean, personality, I don't know. Someone sweet and cuddly.
Cuddly. The later George Bush with his painting, he can paint now. Have you seen his paintings?
No.
It's kind of ridiculous, actually. You should watch the Ellen interview with George Bush. Does he ever try to eat human food, or is he just like a cat food person?
He has tried to eat human food. He actually really likes like syrup. He's
like maple
syrup. He's like,
weird.
When we've had,
that's so sweet.
So sweet. He likes sweet stuff.
Does he only eat like pure maple syrup, or does he like all kinds?
You know, we've only seen it with the pure shit.
Yeah.
I mean, he has like a smile on his face.
He's so cute.
Yeah.
So does he pretty much like everybody?
Yeah, it's kind of scary because we're like,
trust anyone, a serial killer.
Totally. We're like, he he'd hop in the car if you offered him the syrup.
Yeah, cats can't tell the difference between like a serial killer or like...
It's like a serial killer or a butterfly. It's the same reaction.
It's like the same thing. They like make the face or like... Do you have a song that you've written for Fran? Like that you sing to him? Like,
I recently started a podcast and he's part of the jingle because he's the co-host. Mm-hmm. But like I mentioned listening to like a Bob Dylan song, like, hey, Mr. Tambourine Man. We're like, hey, Mr. Franbourine Man. Like, it's so easy to fill it in.
Yeah.
The podcast is PDX Living Room Chats and Tune with Emily PF and Francis the Cat. Yeah. And so I'm always like, Francis the Cat.
That's awesome.
He likes it.
He's a celebrity and he doesn't even know it.
He is.
So what has Fran accomplished so far in life? Like, has he traveled? Has he like... What's his biggest thing?
You know, that's a great question. Well, so I mentioned I'm a new mom, and so he has a new baby in the house.
That's a pretty big deal, yeah.
Have you ever seen, like, The Jungle Book?
I had, the cartoon, yeah.
The cartoon. He's basically raising our child. So
okay.
You know, it's like he's playing all of the parts.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Lots of responsibility. No, but he is very good with the baby. Living with a baby is a feat for an animal, and he'll like come over and like pat him. It's very touching.
Okay.
The biggest trip he's ever gone on was he rode, like when we first got him, we just like loved being with him so much, and we're like, oh, we have to go to the grocery store, but we just like, we love him so much, like let's bring him with us. And we were like novice cat owners.
He went to the grocery store with you?
Well, I had only owned dogs in my life. Well, no, he didn't make it into the store, but like so we took him into the car, no crate or anything.
Oh my gosh.
And it was insane. Never do this, but he like latched onto our legs and was like wild and crazy. But he went up to 82nd and Foster, which was like, you know, he didn't even need a passport, no ID, but like it was the biggest trip.
That's a pretty big trip. Yeah. What is Fran's greatest talent? What does he do that's like different than other cats? Like, is there anything really special? I mean, he seems really special. Like, he'll let you hold him however you want.
Yeah, he's very special. Like, I think that is a talent, definitely. Because I feel like many cats that I met in my life, they're not as friendly, or they kind of like do their own thing. But he always is where the people are, which I think is pretty special. And he really does like to be held like a baby, or like a hug. He'll like lay in this position where he just kind of like melts into his body. He's on his back and he'll lay in that position for like hours. And I think that's pretty special because it's like
so nice to be a cat.
And he came from Pendleton, Oregon, and he had been living under a porch there. And we had been talking about getting a cat, but I looked at all the cats and I really wanted one that was actually a rag doll, or like kind of a fluffy, like beautiful
kind of like
cat.
Reba.
Kind of like a Reba, even though, you know.
So how much do you love Fran on a scale of 1 to 10 today?
Oh, 10.
10? Is it 10 every day, or does he ever annoy you?
I'd say...
Look at his face, though.
10 every day, sometimes a 9.
We're going to talk about kind of what you do now. So you're a DJ. What kind of music do you usually DJ?
So I usually DJ like soul and oldies, and lots of like girl doo-wop music, and then some like 90s jams in the mix.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
that sounds awesome. I'll have to come check it out.
Yeah, so I DJ, and then like my main life gig, that's like I dabble and do that on the side throughout. I also have a podcast that I recently started called PDX Living Room Chats and Tunes with Emily PF and Francis the Cat.
So Francis is a
he's
main
a cohort. Yeah, he's the co-host,
That's
and
awesome.
It's really his podcast, and I'm just kind of like the puppet.
He whispers what
I'm just
he
like,
wants you to say.
I'm really excited about music, and I've been collecting records for a long time.
Yeah, I was listening to your podcast this morning, and you were like throwing kind of tunes in between all the different stuff, like, you know, songs that you found or like records that you found that you really liked, which is, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, well, and it's so funny too, because like with a podcast, especially when like I don't have an interview lined up, it's always this like, it's awkward because you're talking to no one. Yeah, and so I'm like,
it's so weird.
Here we go. And then I'm like waiting for something, and I'm like, no one's there.
It seemed like you did a good job. The first time I tried to do a camera review, I was like, it was just me set up in my house like this, and I literally looked at the camera and I was like, oh my god. Like, I was so nervous. There's literally nobody there, but like trying to speak to nothing is like probably the hardest thing I've ever done. So you mostly interview like creative ladies, right? Like people who are doing creative things in the community.
Yeah, and it started, I went to the Women's March in Portland, and I was like, oh, there's so much
So it's pretty recent then.
Pretty recent.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I wrote a little jingle, and the rest is history.
So
and the very first interview was with my older sister, who's an artist, who was doing a project with other artists in the Bay Area. She lives in San Francisco.
Cool. What kind of art does she do?
She does painting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and she did a project all around. It was like in partnership with the San Francisco MoMA, like doing
fancy
prints. Yeah, it was cool. It was funny to like interview a sibling. I don't know if you have any siblings.
I have a sister and a brother. Yeah.
Which number are you?
I'm in the middle. I'm a middle child, so I'm kind of ignored.
So other people I've interviewed though was a woman who has a blog in town, Allison Tilden Burt.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Allison Burt Tilden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always switch them around. And then
interviewed
Shola, dear friend, Shola Lawson, who's a photographer, and then a woman who curates a beauty line for stand-up comedy. So
are you doing more coming up? Like, do you have plans?
Well, I put the ask out there, like if anyone's interested in being interviewed. It's 15 minutes, thank you. But yeah, like it's a 15-minute interview. I usually have donuts from a fantastic donut place called Doe Donuts. Have you been there?
Down for that. I've never been there.
The donuts are like the best donuts I've ever had, and it's really like cute and
really excited about
they're
this.
really good. Yeah, and then mimosas, and then we chat and we talk about like the things that you're doing, and it's good.
Cool. Yeah, we'll have to do that.
I've been doing that, those on the side, and then day-to-day life, I work for a nonprofit organization where I do consulting and training around getting people with disabilities into the workforce.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that like a 9-to-5 thing?
It's a 9-to-5 thing.
Dang, you're a busy lady.
I'm busy, and I'm a new mama. So,
wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to go outside and take some photos with Emily and Fran, and we're going to use the Holga today, which is a little toy camera, and it's my favorite camera of all time. So that's all, and thanks for tuning in to Cameras and Cats. And thank you to Emily for coming on the show and talking about Fran and everything you do with your podcast and your music. It's awesome. Make sure to like and subscribe and be nice and leave comments telling us what kinds of videos you'd like to see. And we're hoping to have weekly videos so you guys can learn lots of stuff about cameras and cats.
Thank you. What a delight. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Some video of you and Fran too. So
perfect.
Really fun.
Thank you.
Much. Bye. Ooh,
it's funny. I was like, can you guys edit out that fly? And Fran's like, don't worry, Mom.
Yeah, I got it.
I got it. I'm on it.
All right, that's all for today, folks. Thanks for tuning. It's all good. Preciousest.
He's like, fuck you.